Friday, 19th of June 2015. Very first, Daily Mirror. Maitri Mahinda peace effort fails. President rejects concession at forthcoming polls, says Rajitha. Shattering all hopes of brightening the two warring factions of the SLFP under the one flag. President Maithripala Sirisena has flatly rejected to grant any concession to former President Mahinda Rajapaksa at the forthcoming election. Campaign cabinet spokesman and Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said yesterday. Next headline, Duminda instilling fear Irunika. UPFA Western Provincial Councillor Irunika Premachandra yesterday charged that the MP Duminda Silva was indirectly causing witness from coming forth to give evidence by making latent threats. Next headline, Golden Key FR case, 41% to be paid. The Attorney General yesterday informed Supreme Court that the Cabinet had given its approval to repay 41% of the deposit of the depositors at Golden Key Credit Card Company. Next headline, Rajitha's son's case, focus on probation official. Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihan Perapitia issued an order on the Western Provincial Probation and Child Care Commissioner to inquire on the alleged biased behavior of the probation officer investigating the case involving Dinitha Aloka Ranasinghe, who was allegedly abducted by Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne's son. Next headline, CA dismisses SF's right petition. The Court of Appeal yesterday dismissed a right petition filed by Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, who sought a court order to enable him to sit and vote in Parliament and exercise his powers, privileges and immunities as a parliamentarian. Next headline, government to start develop projects immediately. The government has decided to start work on several highway projects immediately. Key state official informed divisional secretaries yesterday. Next headline, Arjuna Mahendran will be jailed if guilty. Ranjan, the president regime which practice good governance will not hesitate to send Central Bank Governor Arjuna Mahendran to jail if he is found guilty of offence in connection with the controversial bond issue, said Deputy Minister Ranjan Ramanayaka yesterday. Next headline, Sri Lanka 16 forced marriages in UK. Sri Lanka 16 forced marriages in UK. Sri Lankans are among the top 10 immigrant families to Britain who were being forced into marriage, a study revealed. The study said that Sri Lankans was placed 6th behind Indians and Pakistanis in the UK who were forced into marriage, a crime in the United Kingdom. Next headline, time to get some rest. Mahanayaka to Gotabaya. While praising former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa for the services he had rendered to the country, the Mahanayaka of the Asgiriya chapter, the most venerable Galagama Sri Attadasi Thera, on Wednesday expressed his satisfaction at the former decision not to re-enter politics. Next we move to Ceylon today. Opinion poll says dissolve parliament. An island-wide opinion poll has revealed that 41% of the country wants an immediate dissolution of parliament and the holding of general election. The Transparency International Sri Lanka survey conducted in urban and rural areas of all districts 2 weeks after the end of the government's 100-day program drew conclusion from response sent in by 875 people, 35 over the age of 80% district, out of which 45% were females and 46% were males, employed in the public and private sectors, the self-employed, unemployed and housewives and students. Senior Manager Advocacy TISL Shan Vijayatunga said 25% were for the formation of a national government involving all parties presently in the government and 25% were of the view that electoral system needed to be reformed by way of the 20th Amendment prior to the dissolution or formation of a new government. On a provincial basis, those who wanted a parliamentary election to be called immediately included 82% from the Sabragamuwa province, 69% from the southern province, 56% from the north, central and central provinces, 54% from the western province, 53% from the Wayamba province, 34% from the Uwa province, 24% from the northern province and 38% from the eastern province. Those in favor of all parties coming together to form a national government included 46% from the northern province and 31% from the Uwa, central and eastern provinces. Next headline, no nomination for MR Rajitha. Cabinet spokesman Minister Rajitha Senaratne said at the weekly cabinet briefing yesterday that President Maithripala Sirisena will not give former President Mahinda Rajapaksa nomination from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party for the upcoming election. Next headline, John calls Rajitha a liar. John Senaviratne, one of the members of the 6-member committee appointed to build cooperation between President Maithripala Sirisena and former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, denied the statement made by Minister Rajitha Senaratne that nomination will be given government to Mahinda Rajapaksa. Next headline, left parties want Ranil removed, appoint Chamals as premier. Leftist parties have requested President Maithripala Sirisena to disband the UNP government and set up an interim UPFA. Government leader of the Lanka Samasamaja Party, Professor Tissa Vitarana said. Addressing the media at an NM Pereira Memorial Center, Professor Vitarana said, while the president establishes an interim UPFA government, he must also take steps to remove Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, appoint Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa instead. Ceylon Today has published top picture of the day that read warning. The JPS today launched a campaign demanding that the government fulfills the promises in its 100-day program or departs. The protest demonstration wended its way from the Punchibaralla junction for Fort Railway Station. Next, we move to daily news. No nomination, no nationally sought, no PM candidacy for MR. Already serve as a MP, Minister, Opposition Leader, Prime Minister, President. What more does he want? Country no more wants a Mugabe. Rajitha. President Maithripala Sirisena's stand was that ex-President Mahinda Rajapaksa would not be made the prime ministerial candidate, nor be appointed as a nationalist MP, nor be given nomination. Cabinet spokesman Health and Engineers Medicine Minister Dr. Rajitha Swenaratna said. Responding to the question by a journalist at the Cabinet press briefing at the Information Department auditorium yesterday, the minister said the committee comprising 6 members appointed to resume talks between President Sirisena and former President Mahinda Rajapaksa would have to deal with this stand. President Sirisena will only move forward from where he is now. He is not a leader who will take a step back. Mahinda Rajapaksa had already served as an MP, Minister, Opposition Leader, Prime Minister and President. What more does he want? It was a bad precedent by Rajapaksa, and what if all former presidents want to return as MPs after their term? He asked. The minister further opined that anybody who is willing to embrace good governance could join the party. Our efforts are to achieve good governance and this cannot be reversed at any cost. President Sirisena has very strong self-confidence and that is what makes up his personality. The president has already vowed that the drug dealers and vagabonds would not be given nomination under the flagship of his party, he commented. Next headline, schools still collecting money despite circular. A set of parents and representatives of the education sector trade union coalition appointed that collection of money by the school principals are still continuing regardless of the 5/2015 circular issued by the Education Ministry banning the collection of the money from school children. Next headline, UNP hell-bent on sculpting 20A. Vasu, the 20th amendment is something that makes the election system more democratic. The UNP is making things difficult in order to prevent the 20th amendment from being passed in parliament, Democratic Left Front leader and MP Vasudeva Nanayakara said. Next headline, UNP working committee to make critical strategic decisions today. The UNP working committee meeting today will make some key decisions on the party's election strategy. No confident motion, 20th amendment and the party's demand on the dissolution of parliament. Next headline, Sri Lanka plans runs into turbulence. 4 crew members injured. A Sri Lankan Airlines plane flying from Paris to Bandaranaike International Airport, Katunaika, ran into turbulence causing minor injuries to 4 crew members. 4 of the 5 air hostels suffered minor injuries and were admitted to private hospital in Colombo for treatment. A Sri Lankan Airlines spokesman told the Daily News that the professionalism and skills of the pilots and crew enabled to plan with its 193 passengers to land safely at the airport. That's headlines of today's newspapers. We'll meet tomorrow with more headlines. Until then, log on with Athavan News.